Hey everyone, Zero JD here with the XBLA Fans channel. I'm here to give you a quick taste of Defenders of Ekron. It's a twin-stick shooter with a bit of like maze and some puzzle bits at the very end, which I did not like at all. I have beaten the game. I believe I did it in about 2.5 hours since I did get an achievement for doing so. This is Anissa's room, I believe is how you say the name, where you begin the game and missions and stuff like that. You can save here, listen to music, look through the database. This game, you pilot a thing called a Anakim, I want to say, or Anakim. Not 100% sure how to say it. In this world, the people who pilot these get these special powers called Isvara. Your character doesn't have one, but you're given a special kind of mecha that is able to collect the energy of the leftover and destroyed enemies. This is your ship here. This is the hangar where you upgrade and do stuff. You can talk to the lady here, but it's usually just flavor text. So the main upgrades are like ballistics, where you're like shooting essentially. The Oxus channeler, which is the which allows you to keep shooting at your ammo essentially, and it regenerates and all that. Speed, of course, and health. You get you have a bar of health and you get more. The power-ups on the right side are essentially you get throughout the game. I'm not going to show them off because that is kind of fun to see how you get them and where you get them from. The Oxus container is like the health container, more ammo before you have to start regenerating. And just to let you all know, this is a completed save, so all the upgrades and stuff you see will be kind of end game kind of stuff. I enjoyed the game, like I said before, until like the very end, where the force, like it was like these sections where you had to go from room to room and doing puzzles with your powers, but it didn't feel like it controlled well enough to do them, or it was, some of them were vague enough that you weren't really sure what to do. So this is the simulation room. I'm probably not going to do like the main hangar area because there is or the main mission area, mainly because there is a spoiler in there that I don't want you guys to ruin for you. So in here you can do like training missions, previous missions. Defenders of Ekron is a little kind of arcade game, which I'll show you now. It is kind of cute. But it's very simple. You're holding right trigger and just going through there. There's my high score. It's a very simple version of the main game. So we're gonna do that. I don't know why that's in a different language. It might be a joke. Yeah, you always put A. You never put your... You put AAA, yeah. I had to think how many A's I said. I just woke up. I unlocked Boss Rush. So we're going to do previous missions. Let's go to... Let's go to this one. So the basis of the game is you control it with the left stick, rotate with the right stick. Shooting. So as you can see, all my power-ups, all my my level-ups and stuff has come to me in this area, but I don't have any of those super like final other abilities, let's call them. As you can see in the bottom right, there is a that bar that's going down. That's my energy. Bottom left is health. Those little tabs at the bottom, it's like, hey, if I push left, I'm actually going into a scanning mode, so I can scan creatures and stuff like that. There's achievements attached to this. The issue with this is that, hey, you have to actually be in that specific mode to scan stuff, so that kind of takes away from the beginning of most missions where you're kind of panicking to scan stuff, but it doesn't really affect much of the game. Later on, there is a one where you're pushing right on the D-pad to go to a kind of travel mode, and then there's a map mode. Throughout the early part of the game, for some reason, my character would drift around like I would have stick drift. The thing is, this controller doesn't have stick drift because I've tested it. And then later on in the game, it just kind of disappeared. Oh, this is one of your buddies, Sloan. His mecha has a lightning ability. So yeah, he's also kind of an asshole early on. Usually these guys would be dropping energy, and I'd be picking up, but since I've already cleared this level, I won't be able to do so. There's also two different kinds of special modes. The right bumper will let you go into a berserk mode where you fire a lot faster. The left bumper allows you to heal, but it uses the same energy that you use for upgrades. So let's say you get an entire bar, that it counts as one, but it would count as one. It would take an entire bar for the little upgrade. And this is another lady. Ira. Her one is you can make a shield. And we're actually gonna get to one of the areas where I can freely move and adjust the screen. I got in formation by myself. So now you can see I can actually kind of fly around at my own volition and do stuff. Just be remember that this is my ability, my abilities, my speed, my shots, and health, and all that at the end of the game. You are fairly weak in the early game. After these kind of like scripted missions where you have to go through them in order, there's a point where you're actually able to get a world map where you can go and pick them whenever any way you want. It kind of feels like there's a fairly specific way they want you to go in it. Kind of like a Mega Man boss, like your first ability is kind of strong against everything. But there are some like really interesting abilities you get. One of them I will spoil is when you hit left down on the left stick, you'll actually teleport around, which is really cool, and it gives like rainbows and stuff. So let's finish this up, and then we'll fight a boss, and then that's mostly how the levels go. You go through it. There may be this little kind of section. Oh, hey. There might be the map-ish section where on the upper right you'll have a map, and there'll be sections you go through, and then it usually ends with the boss. But like I said before, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying everything in the game until the end. So if I hold left trigger, I can actually paint targets and fire off these shots there. If I hold both right and left trigger, I get a shield. Yeah, they both consume energy on the bottom right. Last time I did this boss went nowhere near as fast. It was actually, early on, a lot of it's a fairly large slog to get through. And I'll be chasing this guy. Okay. Actually, I believe when I played this last time, I went to the upper left, and now it's putting me over here. It's also not bullet helly enough to say that it's difficult from the bullet hell part. You just feel fairly outmatched. Yeah, I was on the left side last time where Sloan was coming in. So I can paint this. But I eventually got to a point where it's like that just consumed too much energy, and just holding down the attack button was the best bet. I mean, I think I like the art style. It's got like, it's a very directly, I believe, anime inspired kind of thing. The old stuff. It's like Akira. No. I feel it's very Gundam inspired. I actually really like how the mechs look. They're like battle suits. They're not like full on big mechs. So I believe we're gonna see this girl's ability in a second, unless we just rip this thing apart. Oh, out of bullets. So we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna be like, oh no! No one didn't do it this time. Finished it too fast. Last time when I did it slowly, she went to the back, put up a huge shield, and then threw the shield at someone. But the drills are essentially, hey, they're these little star drills, like you learn to use stuff. Down here, actually, let me show you the first ability you unlock. They're called the Oxus Blades. And they're these things, which are pretty cool. You're actually, you have invulnerability when you're swinging at stuff. And if you hold the right trigger, that's the right trigger. If you hold the left trigger, you do a spin attack. And every time you finish it, you get Oxus. And then, where is it? Dodge, Oxus shield. Here you go. Let's redo this one. And this is a navigation mode where you hit right bumper and you're just kind of... And you don't have to do them, if you do them on one shot, I believe you get a gold star. Because who doesn't love the gold stars? This you don't really have to do. It just gives you more of the happy upgrade juice. Oh, I hit that hard. So since I was able to get that, it should give me some. There it is, and then I could, if I had anything low enough, I could go upgrade it. There is something I could upgrade, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But that's essentially Defenders of Ekron. Like I said early on, the beginning part is kind of fun. It's just it is almost ruined by the end by the puzzle stuff and confusing layout of the thing. I like how the mechs look. I'm a big sucker for mecha and all that kind of fun stuff. But I'm gonna get out of there before that text scrolls. But that is Defenders of Ekron. I am ZeroJD. This is the XBLA Fans channel. Defenders of Ekron Definitive Edition. But I would suggest it wholeheartedly, except for a few little nitpicks here and there. I played it on easy and I still had issues. I don't really want to play it again on another difficulty. Again, even on easy, it felt like early on that you just kind of didn't have enough health. And it almost feels like it wants you to grind in those drill missions to upgrade your mecha, because there was very much a tipping point where I just, like, I threw all my points into my main weapon and I just started to just burn through stuff. There were even bosses where I could just kind of sit and tank stuff, even with lower health upgrades. But thank you so much for watching. Check out our other videos and have a nice day.